Hi everyone, this is Cherry Enchantress with Pixie Dust Tarot, and this is your daily dust for January 10th, Tuesday, if you're watching in real time, or you're watching with me in the southern hemisphere, whenever you're watching it. It is a reading that if you stumble upon it, it's timeless. So let's begin. We're using the Ethereal Visions Tarot, which is a really great deck. Has that gilded foil top. Let's give it a good shuffle. Or shuffles. I've had this one for a little while, so it's kind of broken into. As I shuffle, I'm always focusing on higher energies, positivity, guides, angels, the good energy that wants to help us. Okay, let's take off the top. We have the Artist. Nice. This is exclusive to this deck. And the Ten of Wands. And the Knight of Pentacles. Knight of Pentacles is earth energy. Could be an earth sign in your life, or could represent you. Let's zoom on in. So the Artist, I feel connected with the Artist because I like doing art. And as I zoom in, I'm trying to perfectly even up. I'm a little bit of a perfectionist, Virgo moon, but I'm still seeing this kind of is not perfect. I don't know why. I'm like looking at this top line. And so that could be something. It's like forest through the trees kind of thing, like being so focused on details, and the most important thing is not the details. The most important thing is the overall message, or energy. So let's talk about the Artist. The astrological correspondence to this card is Ophiuchus, and the Artist represents the vessel of creation, and it signifies mankind, and it shows when you need to open to the knowledge that is available if you stop and set aside the distractions of the human condition and listen. I feel like it's a lot having to do with being in the present, being in the now. What a wonderful way to be in the present and the now than to draw, to paint what you're seeing right in front of you. Like Eckhart Tolle, he was just sitting on a park bench observing people, but I feel like if you're sitting on a park bench observing and drawing people or drawing the scenery, that's a whole different level, right? So that could be something that you could use to your benefit to find a place of peace, even in any kind of way, like even if it's music, creating a song or a poem or something like that. That's a way to get really zen and in the now, in the present. Also, it's very soothing too. It's a great way of distracting you from other things. And if you put a lot of attention onto it, the other things don't matter. It's almost like the world slips away and it's just you and this piece of art or this piece of clay or whatever you're working on. And even if you're not an artist, or traditionally you think you're talented or anything, it doesn't matter. You can still attempt anything and enjoy the process, enjoy trying to do it. Like there's a really great artist exercise where you keep your eye say for instance a shoe, keep your eye focused on a shoe and never leave your eyes off the shoe as you draw it on a piece of paper. And that's how a lot of artists start. where they're drawing exactly what they see but not what they perceive with their mind. No, you have a preconceived idea what a shoe is supposed to look like. So if you're not that great of an artist, it'll be kind of scribbly, cartoonish, not very detailed, whatever. But if you just follow the lines of a particular shoe and just keep going without lifting your pencil and without taking your eyes off the subject matter, you can look at that and say, whoa, that's closer than I've ever come before drawing a shoe. And it's exciting, and that's a good place to start. The other thing I was going to say is one of my favorite ways to meditate is drawing mandalas. Mandalas are very easy. They look complicated, they look intricate and detailed, but they're quite simple. All it is starting with a circle, and then from that circle you add a design to it. And it's like all the layers or the levels of the mandala are just connecting. That's the only kind of really rule, if there is such a rule, is that the first, and it doesn't even have to be a circle, but usually circles like kind of easy place to start. Circles, like, how we used to draw flowers, circle and then like a little bumps around it, and then you just keep going from there. And the more you change up the different layers, the more intricate and cool it looks. And as you're doing that, listen to some great music, solfeggio. It could be all kinds of music. Like it could be music that binaural beats or something or some kind of high frequency music that allows abundance to come into your life. Or you could be listening to music that's meant for Reiki healing or whatever. And so then you have these beautiful layers when it comes to healing. Okay, that's just a little getting into the artist a little bit much. But I think with the Ten of Wands, it's kind of a good example is like that if you like working a lot and you need to take a break, that's a great way to take a break. Also, if you're an artist or creating something, you're like almost there. You've almost completed it. You've almost come full circle. You're almost finished. It's just a final push. Or you could be at like if you're a writer, you could be having writer's block. Or if you just like, I just don't know what else to do. Or this project is just going to take forever. Like just take little pieces, bites of it, a little at a time. And by the time, then in no time you'll be finished with it and you didn't even realize that where the time went. It's just sometimes we take on projects and it seems so insurmountable or it seems so big, but all you have to do is start with that first step or for that first bite. There's some places like in work, if you work with groups of people, that if you're a boss type, you can delegate some things, if you're working in a project way. But there's sometimes, and I kind of sense with this particular Ten of Wands, this is your thing to carry and you have to push through to the end, and you will succeed and you will triumph. The Knight of Pentacles is really great because I feel like this is somebody bringing you some rewards. He is the slow and steady wins the race, but it's the full of abundance. It's the one giving you the money maybe, or giving you a commitment, or giving you some kind of reward. It feels like to me this is movement, and knights are about movement. He's not on his horse though, so he's not like riding really fast, and so you have to stay committed and devoted to something I think it's like the point is you have to stay committed and devoted to it for a little while. It's not going to be something that just happens overnight. And at times it may feel like this kind of also feels sort of like marathon runners to me, like, you signed up for a 5K race or something like that. And that final push to the finish line, you're just like, I don't know if I could do this, but you can do it. You can do it. It's just pacing yourself. So it's things like that. It's however, how I feel that artist just represents a creative project or some of your creativity in a certain way, but it could also just represent a way of looking at life, just like being in moments and not overthinking things and not projecting too much in the future, just like being focused on, like if you're running, just focus on your legs and keep going. I had to do that when I did the MS 150, a bicycle race, and I was running, I mean, riding and riding, and songs started popping into my head, and just to, to help me keep going. Songs like Kate Bush's Running Up That Hill, just things like that, are, songs, energies like that can really help keep you going when you need that push. So I feel like it could be a push, but it looks like you're succeeding, definitely succeeding, and you're going to win something. But this could also be in a romantic way, somebody bringing you something. In general, too, it's about being ambitious, but at the same time practical and prepared and ready. If you're running some kind of race like the MS 150, thank God my brother was with me. He knew exactly, what kind of water. It's not just plain water. Like, you really need highly hydrated. If you get cramps, to drink pickle juice. There's all these little side things. Eat small things along the way, but keep fueling yourself for energy. And anyway, so there was a lot of like little helper things that it's like having the tools, kind of like being the magician, having the tools to get there, and then you make it all the way. So yeah, preparation, just make sure that you're prepared for what you're going to do, and then when you're doing it, if you need to replenish. Oh, look, I just noticed the same tree is kind of there. Like, yeah, you're making it there. But I think this is just being creative way to get there. You're being very creative, and you're also putting hard work behind it. So that's really great. I hope you like that. Faith, Trust, and Pixie Dust.